This is a video about installing Windows 7. I'm using VirtualBox as a template for installing Windows 7. To start with, you put the CD into the computer, and you make sure that the startup boot sequence starts with CD or DVD. And the way to check that is to go into your BIOS and change it to making the first boot off of CD or DVD. So we are going to start loading up Windows 7 onto this computer. I'll just make the screen a little bigger to make sure everybody can see. And right now, currently, what we're waiting on is Windows 7 to load, loading up the files. It's running a little slow right now. Before you start the installation of any operating system, you want to make sure that your computer meets the minimum hardware requirements. By that I mean it meets the minimum CPU, memory, and hard drive requirements. For Windows 7, you'll need to verify this yourself. But for Windows 7, usually the minimum amount of CPU power you'll need is between 800 megahertz to 1 gigahertz. That's the minimum, the bare minimum. And then for system memory, you want to make sure you have at least 1 gig of RAM. 2 gigs or more would be better. And for hard drive space, I believe the minimum you would need is between 20 and 30 gigs of hard drive space. Obviously, the bigger the better. And if you plan on using graphics intensive software or applications, you also want to make sure that you have at least a compatible video graphics card. I suggest using either NVIDIA or ATI with a minimum graphics memory of 128 megs. That's graphic memory, not system memory. So yeah, make sure your graphics card, your video card has at least 128 megs of graphical memory. And we are still waiting for Windows to load up here. It doesn't, like I say, it doesn't normally take this long for Windows 7 to load up. I think it's doing this mainly because I'm using a virtual machine. Plus, I got other programs working in the background. So this isn't a Windows issue. This is probably my computer issue. And it should be starting any minute now. And there we have the Windows screen right there. Choose the language that you want to use, choose the time and current format that you want to use, and the keyboard layout that you want to use. For me, it's going to be English, and US, and then we just click Next. And then you go to Windows 7 and it'll say Install Now. So we just click on Install Now. And we're starting the installation process. time now. And here we go. Here's your license agreement. You go ahead and read that and then click I accept and then next. And then here's the this is the page where it shows what type of installation you want. For me, I usually do a custom brand new copy of install a new copy of Windows. Takes us to the next page where it shows our hard drive. As you can see, I have 30 gigs of allocated space, and then you want to click next. Alright, and it takes us to this next page here where it's starting its installation. As you can see on the page, it says that's all the information that they need now. The computer will restart several times before or during installation. And so we'll just let it go through its installation here. Obviously, I'll need to make another video, a part 2 video on the installation of Windows 7. But for now, I think we got about 5 more minutes to go. So after it gets started, after a certain point, I'll just go ahead and pause the video and start another one. So as I was saying, you want to make sure, once again, that before you install any operating system, you want to make sure that your hardware, that your computer system meets the minimum hardware requirements. As I said, for Windows 7, you want to make sure you have, for CPU speed, at least 800 megahertz to 1 gig processing speed. Obviously, more is better. You also want to make sure that you have for your system memory at least a minimum of 1 gig of RAM. The more the better. And for your hard drive, you want to make sure you have at least 30 gigabytes. I don't think it'll let you install under 30 gigabytes. I'm sorry. For your hard drive, you want to make sure it's at least minimum of 30 gigabytes. I hope I didn't say megabytes, but yeah. You want to make it gigabytes. That's gig as in G-I-G. You want to make sure that that's the minimum. Obviously, more is better. And if you meet those 3 minimum requirements, you should be good for a successful install. In the description, I will also put in a few links of where you can go. Basically, you'll be going to the Microsoft website, and that'll tell you your minimum system hardware requirements for installing Windows 7. Looks like the installation, it may be going slow, but it is going good. We haven't had any system halts or anything freeze up on us. Haven't had any issues whatsoever. So it looks like this installation is going as planned. Anyway. And basically, this is the way you install this Windows 7 operating system is basically the way you would install a Windows Vista operating system. Once once you learn how to install one Windows operating system, you basically learn it's basically the same no matter whether it's Windows Vista, Windows, even Windows XP is similar to this. I mean, the user interface is going to be different, but the basic interface, the basic installation is going to be the same. So I will go ahead and I will go ahead and end this video, and we will do another video continuing Windows installation of Windows 7. This is the end of part 1 of installing Windows 7.